welcome to episode 51 of Series 3 of Master League Story Mode. First of all, thank you to all of you who joined me on Friday for hashtag PES Friday, 5 hours of streaming from myself, Shogun FC and Bardinsky. If you managed to catch all 3 streams, then well done to you. It was a great evening of a bit of Master League, followed by some Become a Legend, and it was a good hour and a half stint of Become a Legend for Jack Harrison as we just about scraped through the group stages of the World Cup with England, and now for Friday's episode we go into the knockout stages against the Netherlands, which is going to be a really tricky game. But I'm raring to get back into some Master League because it's been a very long time, or it feels like it anyway. Just noticed there that Becker looks to be transferred, so I'm thinking there must be a contract problem there. Maybe I didn't put a very long contract for him. So let's go through. Oh, look at that. Gomez is expiring in August. Well, we've got to give him another contract, and Magnussen. Oh. Becker, yeah, I obviously gave them really short contracts. I very rarely look at that when I'm negotiating, and it has come back to bite me in the arse, so I need to be sure there. I'm going to offer some contracts to some other players as well. And Loftus-Cheek. Don't just really offer them only 1-year contracts. That's really poor management there. And Marty needs a new contract as well. And Kieran Dowell. Oh, we need to keep hold of him. De Jong, I'm not sure if we want to keep him, so I'm going to put him on the transfer list because we need to free up some money for Boy. Although De Jong is improving well, maybe not exactly what we need. The big question is, do we keep hold of Gabriel, who's failed to impress so far? I mean, Mika is significantly worse overall rated. The only thing that really Mika beats Gabriel on is reflexes, and that's only by 2. So perhaps it's just been poor luck for Gabriel. I'm not sure if we want to sell him yet. I'm actually going to... Oh, Mika's already on the transfer list. I'm going to transfer list Gabriel as well. It doesn't tend to affect the player at all, so just see if we get any bids in for them. So I would like to buy Boy in the transfer window, and we need some money for that. Matthews isn't on the transfer list. We had a bid in for him. I think we want to keep hold of him, though, because he's a pretty important backup to Becker. So there we go. And then let's not forget that we do have Boy lined up for 5 million. We need to find almost exactly 4 million on the dot. We've got the salary for whatever we want, but we haven't got the money for transfer fees. But I would really like to sign Boy. I think he'd be a good addition. Looks like he could probably play attacking midfield, so we might be able to just do a straight swap with him and De Jong. Okay, let's take a look at the sides for today. It's Manchester City. Oh, completely forgot about that. Really difficult game. And we go in with strikers in poor form. Tammy Abraham on a downward arrow. So Nigel Robertha, who's in decent form, he comes in alongside Freaky Fridays on a downward arrow. That's not ideal. The midfield is all looking okay. And I think we'll start Becker and Gomez today at the back. Mika on a blue arrow. Well, we've got to bring him in. Gabriel's been so poor. We do want to give Gabriel a chance, but a blue arrow Mika. I think we'll put him in up against the Manchester City side that we've had a lot of success against. And that mainly, I think, comes down to this formation, because without wing-backs being available as an option in the formation, it does leave them very, very exposed down the flanks. So we'll try and take advantage of that. So it's not been the smoothest start to the season for Bristol City, but here at Ashton Gate, the reigning Premier League champions really need to stamp their authority on the league. I've said that before, I'm sure, but it is true, and no better team to do it against than Manchester City. We need 3 points today. We need to keep the pressure on as we approach the January transfer window. Actually, we're pretty far off that. But anyway, we need to play well. Jordan Roster's settling into life as the captain pretty well. Kieran Dowell and Marty, contract negotiations in progress. Hopefully they'll go well. And Marty says, I'll have that back, Sergio. Simple ball into Kieran Dowell now. It's with the outside of the boot looking for Robertha. Oh, it's fallen to him. Oh, he's put it wide, Nigel. Under a lot of pressure from John Stones. So that was a huge mistake there from, I think it was Vincent Kompany. Either misjudged it or played it back in. There's a hopeful ball in there. Oof. Kompany's header away was not good enough. Yaya Toure. Into David Silva. Kieran Dowell looking to close down, but they play it past him. Loftus-Cheek misses the challenge. That's a great ball in for Sergio Aguero. But Mika back in goal today. Fans will be happy to see him back in goal. He makes the save. Becker's got loads of space out here on the right. We're going to find that as a feature of this Man City side. Lovely ball into Nigel Robertha. He bears down on goal, but Vincent Kompany this time comes across. The really, really strong challenge. We go again now. Angelina gets away from Sané. Friday's pulled wide. Goes back to Angelino. Whips the ball in first time. Rossiter jumps for it. The header from Jordan Rossiter, the captain. And he puts us up here. Bristol City not having any problems at all with Manchester City. And that is so often the case. We do seem to be a bogey team for Man City. Across all of the series, Man City have really struggled against our sides. And you can't be letting Jordan Rossiter beat you in the air in that situation. Company, Stones, Otamendi, head in hands. You should be ashamed of yourselves. The smallest man on the pitch. The captain, totally unmarked in the box. Well, we're off to a good start. Loftus-Cheek gets a good foot in. Couldn't quite win that back though. Amati does get a foot in as well. But it falls to Silva. He goes all the way back to Otamendi. And now David Silva, the little magician. Ball into Kevin De Bruyne. This is where it gets dangerous, where these three start linking up. Aguero into the box. Magnussen comes across. It's De Bruyne now. Amati's challenge. Could have been a foul there. And David Silva on his unfavoured foot. Hits it well wide, but once you start getting the interplay between some of those attacking players, it can be irresistible. Magnussen got a challenge in. Amati, that was rash. Fell to Silva, but well wide. It's the cross in, but it gets a block. And now Manchester City look to bring it away. De Bruyne could be caught in possession here. Fred Friday closing down. He has to go all the way up to Bravo. Kicks it long. Guardiola will not be pleased with that. And Magnussen wins the header. And Kieran Dow dribbles away through the centre. Lovely ball into Loftus-Cheek. Can he slip in Nigel Robertha? Yes, he can. He takes the effort. Bravo with a good save. Still Loftus-Cheek. Low ball into the box. Oh, should have been two there. Loftus-Cheek is going to have time to cross here. Whips the ball in. Fred Friday near post. And that is two. And that is too easy here. The Ashton Gate faithful, remembering what it was like in the glory days of last season when we were winning every game. And it's Loftus-Cheek who gets an assist today. He has been an incredible signing. I think a lot of you called it. But he certainly lived up to the hype. The Chelsea youngster bought in on a full transfer, which is rare for a Chelsea player. Normally get loaned out for their entire career, but we managed to prize him away, and that's a perfect cross in. He's given way too much time. It's the problem with having Raheem Sterling as a wing back and Sane as a wing back on the other side, but also not playing them as wing backs because that position doesn't exist in PES. It's never going to work. I'm almost tempted to tweak Man City's formation because it's a little unfair on them, although they do tend to do okay against the AI, so they're always thereabouts in the league, but we seem to really be able to exploit them every time we play against them. De Bruyne inside to David Silva. Once these guys get going, that's a lovely ball into Gundogan, and he's going to look for options. Shot comes in, it's rebounded, and Mika, who's had very little to do today, able to take under his control. Lovely header on there from Loftus-Cheek. Is the half about to come to a close? There it is. Well, 2-0 and comfortable here for Bristol City. Manchester City have had maybe 2 shots yet, neither of them on target. We've dominated possession and chances created. It's an easy street here. Guardiola's tactics are nothing compared to Ian Holloway's. He is the anti-Guardiola. And we never struggle against this side. See if we can score a few more goals in the second half. Man City looking to come out of the half. Oh, but that's poor. Straight into the feet of Dowell. It's taken out by a robust challenge there from Yaya Toure, and this is where they're dangerous. And De Bruyne gets it in the middle. Oh, he skips away from Amati. Magnussen gets his shoulder ahead of the man and does fall to De Bruyne in the end. And everyone's favourite albino footballer manages to get a shot away, but Mika equal out for a corner. Oh, Robertha nicks it back. And then he goes wide into Kieran Dowell. Oof, Otamendi this time with a great challenge. Becker still streaming up from the back though. Whips a cross in. Rossiter's there. Punched away by Claudio Bravo, and that should go to touch. No, Aguero keeps it in. Good play by him, but Kieran Dowell. Defensive work there from the attacking midfielder. Loftus-Cheek into Becker. Can he find Dowell? He can in loads of space. He's got time to look up, whip a ball in. Roster heads it on to Fred Friday. Oof. Loftus-Cheek into the box. Oh, stings the gloves of Bravo. They thought it was clear, but it fell neatly to Loftus-Cheek, who's full of confidence at the moment. This was a nice knockdown, or knockback, sorry. Looking for Friday from Roster. It came out and he's hit that well. Marty wins it. Well played. And then Friday battling with Yaya Toure. That's a good battle. Oh, it's a great ball through. Robertha, he's got Loftus-Cheek at the far post, and he finishes neatly with a little dink over Claudio Bravo. And there we go. It's 3 here at Ashton Gate, and Loftus-Cheek is having a great game today. Grabs a goal as well. Great late run from midfield. We said we wanted to turn him into the English Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure involved in the build-up there. He couldn't handle the pace and the power of Friday. And the ball in is a simple one, but it's the run from Loftus-Cheek that you've got to appreciate. Running from deep. Got ahead Raheem Sterling. It's a decent finish on his left foot as well. It was put on a plate for him, but he still had to finish it. Kieran Dowell over this one. Will he flight into the box looking for the head of Loftus-Cheek? He will. Battling with John Stones. He can't get the head to it. Now Man City look to break. But once again, Aguero has to pick it up so deep. Marty gets the challenge in again. But it's fallen now to Iheanacho. They have to go backwards. Gondoa, nice footwork though that time. Oh, but Loftus-Cheek's won it back. And then he's fouled there a couple of times in the centre of the pitch. But an incredible all-round performance from Ruben Loftus-Cheek today. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. Sing the Bristol City fans. Ruben, 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 Ruben. Loftus-Cheek. Do we love you? Yes, we do. Something like that probably, you'd imagine. The creativity of these Bristol City fans. Nolito gets away from Amati this time, but Amati not done with him yet. Still gets back and then wins it back from Iheanacho. Gives away the free kick. But that'll be the end of the game here. Sterling might get one more chance to cross it in. Not with Ruben Loftus-Cheek around. And he passes it clear. And that is an incredible performance from Bristol City. Brushing aside Manchester City, as they have done in the past. That was way too easy. And the fans sing out, easy, from around Ashton Gate. And the stats say it all there. One shot on target from Manchester City. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek, as expected, picks up the man of the match. What a game he had. Controlling play in the middle of the pitch, setting up attacks, scoring goals, assisting goals. You can't ask much more from your central midfielder. So there we go, great performance, as we come to expect. And we're up into 5th now. That's looking a lot better. We have drawn 1, lost 1. Not great. Arsenal still yet to concede. Liverpool still yet to concede. And they've won all 5 of their first games. But yeah, we're doing all right. We're back in it. We're well amongst it. That's the important thing. So only 3 days later, and it's a home game in the Champions League, and we're up against Feyenoord. We had a great performance, as you remember, in the first game. Oh, we've been negotiating with Boy. I forgot that we'd done that. We tried to get a bit of money off, didn't we? What is it going to be now? It's good that it's gone through at least. Down to 4.1. That's a bargain. 1 million off the 22-year-old who stats we really like the look of, so that's going to be interesting. The scouts come back with some more strikers. Menage, no, can't do with him. Puel, good finisher. 78 finishing is decent. Good all-rounder. Not really screaming out to me, though. And anyone from the Netherlands? Pereira, no, we can't sign him. And Hendricks. Oh, Hendricks is just on the cusp of what we can deal with at 76 overall rating. Good all-rounder, excellent finisher. Good attacking prowess as well. He would be deadly, no doubt about that. Decent passer as well, but he doesn't really excite me in the same way the Boy does. Champions League action. This is always exciting. How's the team looking? Tammy Abraham's still on a downward arrow. That's weird. We've seen that in 2 games now in a row. We can't start him on that, but that's a real shame. Everyone else looking okay. Loftus-Cheek. Love to see a dramatic improvement from him. If he keeps playing the way he is. Looking great. So, Dirk Kuyt up front. Quasimodo. And then a liar on the left-hand side of him. It's a good side. It's not Atletico Madrid in terms of quality, but then Atletico Madrid were pretty poor. So Bristol City's introduction to the Champions League against Atletico Madrid was a dramatic one that's been talked about massively in the media. This side, their first ever game in the Champions League, and it looked like they might beat Atletico Madrid after an incredible goal from Nigel Roberto, and it was only the Madrid keeper who kept him in the game. We were peppering their goals. We deserved the win. So we really need to get a win here today, because it would be a shame not to build on that success. Rotterdam, though, likely to be a tricky side. And they've got Dirk Kuyt up front, who I always loved as a player from his time at Liverpool. So hopefully we can keep him out of the game. Tammy Abraham, still on the downward arrow, which is concerning, really. We do miss his goals when he doesn't play. Roberto not quite as clinical, not quite so good in the air. But hopefully we'll be okay. Gabriel back in goal today. We'll see how that goes. Kieran Dowell over this one. He's going to look to flight it in for the head of Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek has gone deep, doesn't win the header. Rossiter lets it fall, has a go. The rebound's going to go out and it's going to be a corner here early on in this first half. KD over this one. The outswinging corner. Oh, it's a good one. Rossiter at the far post gets the header in. Incredible save. Rossiter with the rebound. He can't finish it at the second time of asking. Jordan Rossiter scored a goal in the last game. Has he added goals to his game? Well, that would be incredible. Nice. Well played there, Becker. And he turns and finds Kieran Dowell nicely. Just cheat the ball into Fred Friday's a good one. And he keeps the ball moving to Angelino. Always a willing runner, and he's got loads of space here. He's got time to pick a cross in. Looking for Robertha at the near post, and he's hit the post there. Oh, Robertha made a good run. Couldn't quite get the finesse on that header that maybe a Tammy Abraham might have done in that situation. But give Angelino that much space, and he's always going to find a man. It's a good run. Oh, just missing. Just cheek. Sees the run of Becker. Put it into a good position for him. Will the right back get there? He does. He muscles ahead of Congolo. Now into the box. Becker looks backwards. Oh, that was probably the wrong decision. He was looking for the late run of Roster into the box. It was through a crowd though, but that ball from Loftus-Cheek was a great one. Rossiter into Loftus-Cheek. Now Kieran Dowell, early ball into Robertha. Lays it off to Dowell. That's neat. He's looking for options here. The overlap has come from Becker. Slips it into Fred Friday. He should have the pace and power to get away from his man there, looking for Robertha with the ball along the floor. Once again, Feyenoord doing well to cut out the crosses. Loftus-Cheek. Simple play as usual. Becker down the line to Robertha. Oh, he steps away. Still Robertha. Oof. James van der Beek does really well to put the tackle in. Gomez, big header. Loftus-Cheek finds Becker now in a lot of space. It's back inside to Kieran Dowell. Looks to tee up a shot from distance. Hahn gets down with a good save. Karsdorp keeps it from going out for a corner. Oh, Robertha catches him napping, as does Friday. That's the first half coming to a close here. Kieran Dowell stung the gloves of the keeper in the last few minutes of that half. Gabriel's not had much to do. He's made a save. Bristol City, we felt like we've been on top, but we've only managed to manufacture 2 chances. We've had a lot of chances to make chances, but we haven't quite been clinical enough in the box, and Finals defence has been pretty solid, to be honest. Second half, we're going to need to play a lot better. We cannot be affording anything less than the win today. Simple pass inside to Dowell. Let's go back to Rossiter. Oh, it's a lovely ball into Robertha, who cuts back inside. Nigel Robertha with the curling effort. Keeper's done pretty well again there to save that. Becker, edge of the box, has a go himself. Just well wide from the right back. Staffson in the middle. Oh, Marty. Strong, but he loses out somehow. Second time of asking. And again, somehow it's falling to Rotterdam here, and we don't want that. This tends to be the way when there's a goal coming. Feyenoord working their way through, and it's an incredible finish there. Nothing Gabriel could do about that, and that's a real hammer blow here for Bristol City. We were playing so well. It just felt like it was going to happen. The ball kept going back to them, and to be fair, this finish from Gustafsson, who's been really strong for them, unsavable. You can't blame Gabriel for that, but we can blame this Bristol City side for not taking their chances earlier on. Down out to Becker. Becker puts it down the line into Nigel Robertha. Becker whips it in, looking for Fred Friday, gets the header. Another great save there. These Champions League goalkeepers are something else. Loftus-Cheek gives it away there, and now Aliyah moving forward. Great footwork from him into the box. Dirk Kuyt can turn, get the shot in. Gabriel makes a save, and it's a huge one, a necessary one. And we're under the cosh here. This is not looking good. Rossiter, nice ball into Robertha. He turns and find Becker making the run. Little chip ball in, looking for Friday. Congolo with a great clearance. Oh, Robertha nearly nicks it back. Rossiter slides it through to Fred Friday. What a finish from Fred Friday. The first time effort. Low, hard, and in the corner. It's the Fred Friday trademark finish. This time on his left foot, though. You don't often see that. But that first time shot of his, I don't know if he has that attribute to his game. But he loves that sort of finish. And the keeper has done really well today. Couldn't get down quick enough for that. And we're back in this one. A game that we really should be winning, especially at home. Marty sprays it wide, looking for Becker. Has to go back inside to Marty. That's good play, though. Robertha with a big touch. It's into trouble there, but Becker gets away with it. Good running from him. Will it fall to a red shirt? It does eventually. Down into Robertha. Back to Rossiter. Just about sneaks it through to Kieran Dowell. Back inside onto his left foot. Hits it. Whoa! That was travelling. And it wasn't far off. Kieran Dowell has been massively out of the goals. Remember when he won the Player of the Season last year? Yep, he had goals and assists up the Swanee. But this time he's not quite able to find that goal-scoring touch this season so far. Cars drop down. That's a good ball in. Gomez is there. Does really well. And smart play to dribble away. Angelino into Rossiter. Escapes the sliding challenge. Fred Friday, though, couldn't shield it. And now Rotterdam coming forward again. That's a nicely weighted ball into the box. Gomez comes across. It's a touch. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Get out of the way! Oh, Gabriel. I mean, that was actually Gomez's fault. Oh, total lack of communication. And just a breakdown there. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, that's us out of the Champions League, and it's all down to Gomez. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Dow. Can you find Angelino again? Yes, he can. Little ball in, looking for Friday, jumps for it. Loftus-Cheek, head to the box. He can get a shot away, and it's straight into the gloves of Hahn, and we've lost it. I cannot believe this. Absolutely furious. Oh, to give away an own goal in the dying stages of a game that we've battled back into. And we dominated all the way through. That is disappointing. That's truly awful. I can't believe we've done that. Hahn grabs man of the match, and rightly so. These Champions League goalkeepers are fucking mustard, but that was just all our own fault. I don't know if really you can blame Gabriel there. I think it was Gomez, if anything. Should have just cleared his lines, tried to be too clever. Passed it into the keeper, but he did seem to run into the way. Very unnaturally. Oh dear. For fuck's sake. That's going to put us in a difficult position. We're going to need to win our game against Bruges and then hope that Atletico Madrid lose, but that's probably us out of the tournament now. Unbelievable. What a way to do it. What a way. So no one wants to negotiate except for Kieran Dowell. Excellent. Those will all be fine though. Soon enough. We'll renegotiate though, but good to say that KD is happy to stay. We'll keep going though with all of these guys. They're all pretty integral to the side, so we need to make sure that they're all happy to be involved long term in this project. Daniel Amati, he's been a rock for us recently, and then KD. What are we looking at here for KD's new contract? I'd rather have more than a year, so we'll extend that. Whatever salary you like, basically, Kieran. Okay, actually, hang on. I'm massively over-exaggerating there. We're only the second game of the Champions League so far in the group stage. You get to play each team twice, don't you? I'm thinking of the World Cup because we've just come out of that. So it's disappointing to lose today. But with a draw under our belts and games again, 2 games against Club Brugge to play. And I think we should be able to sneak our way out of the group. We'd be very disappointed not to. Absolutely. Well, there you go. A mixed episode with a huge error at the end. Dearie me. Was it Gabriel's fault? Was it Joe Gomez's fault? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in a bit.